So, before I record this video, I want to put a disclaimer. If you decide to read this book that I do a book review on, you cannot blame me or anyone else for the results that happen in your relationship or how you view men. Okay? Now, there is even a disclaimer on the back of this book. It says, warning, all women, your perceptions about the men in your life are about to change forever. Okay? So I just want to put that out there. Disclaimer, I had nothing to do with what happens if you decide to read this book. The book is called What Men Don't Want Women to Know: The Secrets, the Lies, and the Unspoken Truth. Now, I'm not going to read the book verbatim. I'm not going to tell you everything the book says. I'm just going to talk about 6 points that the book, and also the book has been written. The book was written by men. They call themselves Smith and Doe in this book. There is more than one disclaimer if you read through the whole entire book. Now, the 6 points I want to talk about are some things that some people may know, some didn't. I knew a couple of them. I didn't know all of them. I'm learning just like a lot of other people. Now, this book called What Men Don't Want Women to Know, it can be very, very, very triggering, and if you are not ready, if you are in a relationship and you like your relationship, I recommend you not read this book. Okay? So, the first point that I want to talk about in this book is something they say about why your man is in a relationship with you or why he married you. Your man is simply with you because at this very moment he does not think that he can do any better. Now, when a man doesn't want to be with you anymore, have you ever noticed how they make themselves seem terrible? They distance themselves. They stop talking to you. They stop dealing with you the same way. They don't do the things that they used to anymore. Yeah, it's probably because they don't want to be with you anymore and they're too afraid, or too, what I call cowardism, too cowardly to just straightforward break up with you. They found something they think is better and they want to be with them instead, or they just simply don't want to be with you anymore. I mean, one or the other, but I think usually it's because they found better. Because when men are dating, they don't date one person, or just because they start dating you doesn't mean they stop talking to everybody else, their exes or whoever they're dealing with. 2, men and sex. Okay. This is not a chapter in the book, Men and Sex. It's just a point that they make about men and orgasms and sex. So, the second point that they mention is the second your man orgasms, you, wherever you are, is the last place on the whole entire planet this man wants to be. They didn't say it exactly like that, but you get my gist of it. So, I don't know why men are like this. I don't know why they choose to be this way or why they feel this way after they've had sex with you, but it is a scientific fact, apparently, according to this book, that you are the last place they want to be after they have gotten their orgasm. And they'll do whatever they have to do in order to be able to keep getting sex from you. But just know that is how all men feel. Okay? So, number 3, men protecting other men. So, now, this is something that I've seen with my own eyes. And this is something that I've caught a guy that I called myself being in a monogamous relationship with at a certain point in time happening. I caught him and his friend in a lie. Like, his friend came to his rescue when he knew that he did something, but I had already caught him in act. I had hardcore evidence, which brings me to this point. Men could not keep any secrets or sustain any lies without the total complicity of other men. You know how your homeboy, or no, excuse me, you know how you're dating someone and he calls his friend to confirm that he was doing something because y'all were arguing and you don't believe him? He probably did it. More than likely he did it, especially in something they say, if another man comes to his defense, he absolutely did it. Like, men are going to protect other men. If men did not need women for reproduction, they probably wouldn't even be bothered with us, to be honest. And that is something they also say in the book, but it is not a point that I wanted to speak about that much. If a man comes to his defense, more than likely he did it. All right? So, this book has a lot of different points, and just wanted to make it clear on the different points that I wanted to speak on, which is only 6 of them, but there are tons in this book. When I got it, I could not put it down. Like, I read it through and through. Like, I finished it like no later than 2 hours after the Amazon man dropped off my book. So, point number 5. Men lie constantly. If they tell you they didn't, they're lying. And no matter the evidence, I feel like women have experienced this. Like, when you've had hardcore evidence and he still will not confess to the action that he committed. So, the point of this book is not really to destroy your relationship, turn you against your man, make you hate men. I don't hate men, I love men. But do I see myself getting married? Probably not. Do I see myself having anyone's children? Most definitely not. But things happen, you know. So, the next point I wanted to make about this book is that okay, and it's not to turn you against him or make you hate whoever you're dealing with, or the men or man you're dealing with. It's to inform you and enlighten you and let you know. But this is the last point I want to make in the book. Only trust what you know firsthand, what you've seen with your own eyes. Never mistake trust for truth. Okay? Just because you trust that man, just because you believe everything he says, or you think the sun shines out of his ass, does not mean what you think about him is true. And reading this book, what men don't want women to know, will probably damage your relationship or your marriage. I'm just going to be honest, but I am absolutely not responsible for anything that happens if you decide to read this book. Thank you for watching my book review on What Men Don't Want Women to Know by Smith and Doe, The Secrets, Lies, and Unspoken Truth. Have a nice day, and be safe. I promise I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go too far. I'm just right outside my apartment building because my roommate is married and I did not want her to blame me or for her husband to come at me sideways because I was doing a review on this book.